Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Silent Podcast, where we are anything but silent. I am your host today, Mark Levy, and I am unbelievably excited to talk to the winners of LEGO Masters Season 3, Della, Mora, and Stacey Roy. They both were incredible to talk to. They both seem like just the best people, and it was so much fun talking to them about LEGO, their history with LEGO, and their future with LEGO, and being Twitch streamers. And they seem like just genuinely great people. It was just a great conversation that I really enjoyed having. If you haven't watched the whole season, I highly recommend it. We go in deep spoiler territory, besides the fact that they win. They're incredible, and their builds were always so ingenious, and it was always so much fun to cheer for them. Also, I want to tell you guys something. We are going to be showing we're going to be covering the Holiday Celebrity Spectacular later this month for Silent Podcast, and I'm very excited about that. I'll be myself and Josh Kettles, and we're going to have a good time. And without further ado, I'll let you guys see my interview with Nick and Stacey. Enjoy. Alrighty, guys. I am so unbelievably excited. I've been loving this whole season of LEGO Masters, and the arc of these beautiful, amazing human beings. I was watching them go from the nice, good middle to the low lows and to the high highs of the win. I'm bringing in to you guys two people that love nostalgia like me. Nick and Stacey are winners for LEGO Masters Season 3. How are you guys today?
It feels so good for us to be able to see it. That we won LEGO We're LEGO Masters.
We're LEGO Masters.
We're LEGO Masters. Like, I can't say that. I love LEGO, but I'm not a master. I should bow down to you guys, right? How does it feel like after rewatching the whole season, after knowing what happens, and like having your friends like, oh man, you got lucky this week, and all that stuff?
It just feels amazing. We actually had quite the celebration last night. We had our family, our friends there, community members, and to finally be able to share this big news with them meant everything.
Yeah, it was definitely a hard thing to sit on, but getting to watch all their reactions that was happening, hearing their thoughts each week about all the different things that were happening, it was just like fun getting to live in it. And then of course, getting to the end result was just so incredible to share with them.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine. I've never been a broadcast in that regard where it's like, wow, you got through this week. Hopefully next week is better. And then like the way you guys basically dominated the last 3 episodes was just, I actually cried watching the finale. Between like the family visit and also like the nostalgia of seeing like your old Lego sets from when you were kids. I'm like, oh, like my parents have all my Lego sets at home still, and it just brought so much warmth to my heart to see that.
I love that. It really was the perfect twist for us. I remember seeing that because you get a little nervous when they announced that there's going to be a twist. You're like, oh great, what's happening now? But that twist was made for us because our whole build was about memories from our childhood, and then we got given them to put into the build. Like, it was perfect.
Really was.
Yeah, I mean, like that build was just made me so happy. Like I was born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, so like I was just like, oh man, like I just saw my childhood on that bookshelf, and it just was beautiful. Like, how did you guys get into Lego? I imagine the same way as most people, where you just fall into it as a kid. But what was it like? Like, how did you fall into it?
All right. So for me, I think they touched on this a little bit on the show, but I used to build these big giant Lego towers with my dad and then knock them over. So I've been building Lego ever since I was a little kid. And I really just started to get back into it in the last couple years. I decided I would live stream building one of my Lego sets because I just didn't want to stop building what I was working on. So I was like, oh, I'll turn on the cameras and I'll live stream that. And people loved it. It reminded them of their childhood. It reminded them of how fun Lego was. And I immediately realized that I was onto something. I was like, I need to do more live streams about Lego. And thank goodness I did, because that's how Nick and I met.
Yep, exactly. So for me, in terms of my Lego story, it's just that like I found it from a very young age, and then I just never let go of it. I was like, I love this thing way too much. I'm never going to stop doing this. And so it just snowballed into, more and more crazy building. I discovered the amazing online Lego community where I was so inspired to build better and better as I saw all the amazing things other people were building. And that just kept me driven. Then I discovered the world of live streaming and content creation. And like Stacey, discovered like how much people enjoy kind of sharing and such a fun, playful passion that is Lego building. And anything even like related to it. And so the show came around, and then it was just like, oh my gosh, like how cool is it?
Like watching when your fiance came on, it reminded me so much of one of my early dates with my girlfriend were long distance, and we during the pandemic we were stuck, and like I'm in my apartment in Brooklyn, she's in Minneapolis, and we both bought the Lego Baby Yoda and we built it together for like 8 hours on stream.
That's
and it was
so
like the best thing ever.
This story.
Yeah, I have my Baby Yoda like right off the camera. I'm not gonna bring it down because it's like hopping off camera and all that weird stuff, but it's just that thing of like
I built it.
I have
it's really yeah.
It's
Great
so
set.
fun,
Good choice.
like how it moves and everything, and you're just like, and it's Baby Yoda. How can you not love Baby Yoda?
So cute.
And he's Grogu. It's Grogu. Huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So you guys just built like back and forth on live streams?
Yeah, we both literally. I'm more familiar with Lego more recently than she is. So I was a little bit ahead of her on the page and the bags. But like it was that thing of like it's that thing that Lego I think brings together so many people from so many generations, and it's just that beautiful thing of like you can make this really cool piece of art, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like, who would imagine that all these tiny little individual pieces could come together to build something so incredible?
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys are Twitch streamers, and like, I got into like the whole world of all that stuff during the pandemic.
Awesome.
Like, how did y'all meet? Because I assume you guys are from different parts of Canada, right?
We are. We live on. I live in Kelowna, British Columbia.
Okay,
and I'm from Toronto, so
right. So
opposite yeah. So our first time building together was technically the audition, and then on set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we only had ever built virtually.
Yeah. Luckily, I had noticed, like, we both stream on the same platforms, and I had caught, like, it had caught my eye, of course, when I see someone building Lego, I take interest. So I, of course, saw how much fun and enjoyment, like, Stacey was having just from sharing her love of building clearly with people. And so when the casting kind of started, I was like, okay, this is a person who does the same thing as me, which we're both very lucky to do, and loves Lego, and is also Canadian. I'm like, maybe she would be interested in trying this televised building competition out with me. So I just shot her a message. I was like, hey, I know we've never met or anything, but I've seen your stuff. You're awesome. And do you want to do this? Like,
so did you guys not really?
Was yes. Yeah. And then before I knew it, everything was rolling and moving, and we were going to Georgia.
So you guys never really talked until you reached out for the audition? Or
we had like been aware of each other's communities, maybe talked in chat a couple times here and there and stuff. And funnily enough, we had realized like just a few months ago, I think, that we had met years ago at a convention.
Oh,
we have photos.
Yeah, she has a picture with one of my builds, and like we just forgot that we had that encounter. So I guess it was like fate was meant to be that we reconnected in this crazy way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. What was the audition process then? Like, did you audition in Georgia or separately on Zoom, or?
We're a little more limited in how we can talk about the audition process.
Okay.
I think I know what I was at least allowed to say.
Okay,
the Walmart thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot to the audition process.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really fun. But when we got down to the finals, like the final casting call, Nick flew to visit me over in Kelowna, and we built in my studio. Lego sent us, or I guess Lego Masters sent us 10,000 Lego bricks, and we did mini Lego Master challenges. Mm-hmm. And it gave us an opportunity to meet some of the potential other contestants, see how we interacted together, have fun, and have everybody get to know our personalities and our build styles.
That's so great. Like, so you, like, meet people during the process still, which is awesome. Was there other people that were in the process that were in the season also with you guys?
Yeah.
Yes. I believe almost everyone that we were.
A good chunk of the people that we were there that day with, for sure.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And like also like a weird heads up of like, hey, this team is really good or whatever. I mean, imagine all the teams are good at that point.
Yeah. Everyone is an amazing builder. I mean, if you're making it onto Lego Masters, you've got some skills.
Yeah. And I would also like always note that Lego Masters is a competition, but it's like the least competitive competition you could probably imagine. That like we're all cheering for each other, we're all checking in on each other, like seeing how we can help out. Like we're always there for each other. So it's a very uncompetitive environment, even though someone does go home every week, unfortunately. I think we would all have everybody stay throughout the whole thing if we could. Just be so fun.
It's so friendly and beautiful. Like I was like, when I was talking to Jamie and Amy about this, like how it's just like it feels like a giant warm family. And like it's so cool seeing people from different races, ages, backgrounds, everything, all playing, all building these amazing sets. And it's just so cool. I love how y'all are just so eye-poppy and colorful, and it makes me very happy.
I love that. But yeah, we have the best Lego fam ever.
100%.
100%. Yeah. Like, what was your favorite challenge?
Ooh. Well, I mean, I think obviously the last one.
The finale is definitely up there.
The finale's definitely.
It's
That's
really
my
good.
build for sure that we did.
Yeah.
I think my favorite challenge might have to be the spaceship one, just because it was me and Stacey's first time like really coming together to see how we worked as a team. And I was just blown away with like what we built, how our story came together with it. I think it was a beautiful build as well. Like we had a lot of fun with it and like the details and the just like the large scale of it too. So it was just, I think, one that gave me like, oh my gosh, like we can do some cool stuff together. Like maybe we have a shot at this. Like, because really we didn't, we obviously got a good sense of each other as we went through the audition process and stuff, but that was the one that was like, oh man, like we work well together. We've got a shot. We've got a shot.
Yeah, I also love the race car challenge because that one was so much fun.
Oh my
I think every shot I'm running around and like jumping up and down and like following Brendan around the track. I was so excited.
It was just what we needed after having a little bit of a rocky go of the last few challenges. Having another team to lean on too. Brendan and Greg were so great to work alongside. So it was just the perfect like spirit booster, if you will, for the time.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of crazy things we got to do. I got to meet Chris Pratt. We had a dinosaur on set. Tree houses. There were so many.
Astronauts were there. Like, you just never know what you were going to get.
You never know what's going to happen there. And like, I mean, like, I just watched the race car episode today. I was just like, I was so enthralled by the last 20 minutes, how it looked like y'all were going to lose. And then like, somehow, because of communication, you guys won in that pit stop. It was like, that's beautiful seeing that happen, you know?
That was so much fun. I loved the pit stop. We worked so well as a team.
We went hard. I was actually bleeding a little bit.
Yeah.
Bleeding from Legos?
I'm stopping. This must be done. Like, poured the blood, sweat, and tears in there, literally.
And also, like, I loved watching the dog show one. Was like
so
cool,
cute.
You know?
What a nice like twist. That was the best twist on Lego Masters ever, for sure. I mean, just 100%. Getting to cuddle with dogs, like
it just was like so beautiful. Like I really love the camaraderie that you see, especially in this season, and like watching you guys all play with the dogs and building really cool Lego sets like out of the dogs and showing the personalities. It's so hard. I love it. I'm a human dog, in case you haven't realized.
Well, we both love dogs.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think like the thing that stands out to me the most was Emily's love of dogs. Like her excitement just got you more excited. It was just contagious.
We were so excited. Our dog was a treat.
Very fun little
Our dog had a lot of personality that we really tried to put in that bill, like the drool. Our dog just did not stop. She wanted
a lot of treats.
Yeah, so it was so many treats. At one point, I remember Nick just being like, "Stacey, stop giving the dog treats and help me build." Lego. And I was like, "But the dog
had to pull her away. Come on, come build."
But I was like, "He barks." Was it she or he?
He, I think, actually. I think we were told wrong at first, so we were calling them by the wrong.
There was a bit of a confusion there.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I just kept feeding treats to stop the barking, keep the barking to minimal, and I did less building that challenge.
Yeah. I also love, like, I mean, the challenge you guys won early on, the treehouse. Like, I remember watching a preview for that. I'm like, how are they going to build a treehouse with no support? And it was just so cool how you use that challenge with your ingenuity and making it so fun to watch that treehouse.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a really fun one. I think Stacey was kind enough to let me lean a little more heavily into like what kind of I wanted for the build. So I'm really, really grateful that she let me do that.
Well, especially you had a really good idea of how we could actually integrate it into the tree and not just kind of like place it on the tree. Yeah. Like we had the tree branches going outside the wall.
Exactly. I think what I love about when you see a tree house is just the way the tree kind of naturally like sprouts out of the actual construction. And so I wanted to make sure that was kind of embodied in our build as well. And luckily, I kind of had a good idea for how to secure the build around each individual branch. It did kind of require a lot of trial and error. We had to like build a bit, bring it to the tree, like measure where the tree branches lined up, come back, adjust. Like
at one point, like I would be holding.
Yeah, she was holding it. I'm like, okay, don't let go, Stacey. Like we got to do
this. Arms are switch, and then you would hold it, and I would build around it.
It was a really fun one to work on.
That was definitely a teamwork challenge with like putting that in the tree.
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's what Lego Masters is all about, like good teamwork, and you guys clearly are a great team. Like, how did you guys keep yourselves up during those 4 weeks in a row where you were in the bottom two? I mean, I can't even imagine how hard that must be in the moment, because I believe it takes like 2 days to shoot an episode, or there's an off day or whatever.
It's pretty intense for sure.
Very fast.
And I will definitely say Stacey was like an absolute superhero during that time. I definitely had a harder time kind of staying positive. I'm very self-critical about my builds. I usually spend hundreds of hours on small builds that you see in the background here. So only having a limited time and then not being able to go back and fix things was driving me crazy. So it kind of brought me down a little bit, but Stacey just persevered. She had so much positivity. She just like kept saying, Nick, we can do this. Like, don't give up. We've got this. And that was just exactly what I needed to kind of dig myself out of the rut, stay positive even through the tough things. And I think that's really what allowed us to get through that tougher time and end up coming out on top in the end.
Totally. I think one thing people don't know is each challenge is a new day.
Right.
You do got to try to treat it like that.
You got to try to treat it that way. And that's what we did, because all of the judging is about that challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not necessarily what you did last week or the week before that. So if you can treat it that way, like, dust yourself off, get back up and be like, let's give it everything we've got again. Like you can't give up. And I think that's something that we really kept to, is we just kept on trying and bringing as much positivity as we could and love for Lego, and it paid off in the end.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's one that I feel like you were judged, in my personal opinion, a little harshly on, which was the Marvel one. I feel like you guys had one of the harder ones to set up, and the fact they made so many layers in that water was just so cool to me, and I was really sad to see you guys in the bottom too. I'm like, it's a massive set, and like it's fully completed, and it was beautiful. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, I will say I was really, really proud of that build. And I think what was most exciting for me is when we actually got to watch the episode just a few weeks ago, we finally got to see them do kind of the direct side-by-side comparison of like the build like framed in the exact same way as the image. And when they did that, I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like they put a light where the sun was.
Yeah.
I was like, whoever the camera person was on that, like, I love you so much. Thank you. So that was just like really rewarding to me. And while I can definitely appreciate like where kind of the criticisms about our build came from, that was everything I needed to see. And I'm just glad it was enough to keep us going in the competition.
And our build was big.
It was big. Yeah.
It was
those
so
waves
big.
and everything that we had going on, it was huge.
And like, I mean, like it looked really cool to me. Like as a Lego maniac and a Marvel nerd, it just warmed my heart. Like the whole challenge was really cool.
It was a very fun challenge to be part of. So who would have ever imagined you get to build Marvel stuff? Like
exactly.
And like how you had him actually flying in it was really cool too.
Yeah, that was all Nick, because we really wanted to have him suspended.
Yeah, we were struggling for a bit. Like, okay, how do you get this character literally in the middle of nothingness? It's like normally you could kind of support a character from directly behind them, so when the camera angle's right, you don't see anything. But the wave that was behind him was so far back, like he would have just like bent down and flopped off or something. There was no way to build strong enough. So the string was a lucky, like I think I was actually digging for other pieces for something and I saw a string and I was like, oh, that's the solution. Yeah. So sometimes just exploring the bricks will, help you find creative solutions to problems.
It was perfect, Nick. It was perfect.
It's great. How did it feel to be in an all Canadian Final Three? Like,
can you believe it?
How'd that happen?
I don't know. Canada's got some really fantastic builders.
Yeah, lots of and honestly, really amazing people too. Like that can't be stressed enough. Like we became such a close family. But like when we first got onto the show, I'm like, okay, this might be like we're super lucky. They must be making like a weird exception to let a Canadian team on. And then to discover 2 other Canadian teams, I was like, oh, this is the best.
And I don't know if you remember this, but in the beginning, I think it was like episode 1, we were talking as Canadians, and I was like, how cool would it be if we were all in the finals? And we were like, no, that's not going to happen.
There's no way.
Like, there's no way. And then before we knew it, we were like, what?
Like what teams were you guys like best friends with? Like I imagine there must have been some downtime and you were able to become friends with people. Like
I mean, our last 2 teams that you see us in the finals with, I mean, I think I speak for both of us. I had Steven and Steven won it, or Emily and Dave. We would have been so excited for them because we just grew so close, and we're still such great friends with them.
Absolutely.
Now, and
I would totally agree. There were like no losers coming out of that finale, no matter the result. We were just all so proud and happy for each other. I was so glad they actually showed us like walking around, checking out each other's builds, because we were all so excited to see what we came up with. And it was just like such a fun like time as well, like just working on those builds together, seeing everyone just get to really pour their hearts into their builds. like we knew Dave and Emily loved building cities, and the Stevens loved landscaping. So everyone got to lean into their strengths, and it was just such an incredible like environment to be a part of.
It really was. And then getting to meet each other's families.
Oh, that's one time that made me cry. I'm like watching it, and I'm like, oh no, it's like the Family Business Survivor, but Lego Masters, and I'm just like making them crying.
It was very emotional for sure. Yeah,
it really was. That was also a good twist.
Another amazing twist.
It was just like they pulled out all the stops. Like I feel like the fact that there's so many different Lego Master versions out there, where there's like America and there's a whole bunch. Like, they told me there's like 10 different versions outside of America, and
I think there's like 17 or 18. It's
God,
it's a lot.
Yeah, they've done tons.
People love Lego.
Yeah,
it's great. I mean, it's been like I remember being so excited going to Toys R Us as a kid, and my parents like, you can choose whatever Lego set you want, and I got so excited. I remember like I don't remember my first set. Like I was thinking about that earlier today while watching the finale, and I was just like, the first set I actually truly remember was a pirate ship that I had.
Nice.
Like a $60 pirate ship, and it looked really cool. I remember that was like a lot of pieces. It took me forever to build. I remember being frustrated and loving it when it came out.
So you must have loved the pirate episode then.
I did. Yeah. No, I thought I'm always a big fan of like the pirate type, like whenever it's like an episode like that, or like the interesting destruction episodes. Like the rodeo episode. The rodeo episode, I really like.
Your best friends for sure.
I love destroying Lego.
Well, I don't love destroying them, but like it's like cool how they fall apart sometimes. You know?
Well, that's just it. We're not really destroying it because you can always rebuild it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think many of the pieces from those pirate ships would have been usable after.
Well, I can't do that at home.
No.
My parents won't let me play with explosives in the house.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember one of my personal favorite episodes was the rodeo episode. Like, because like that's a cool, unique way to destroy things. Remember, like I think it was last season was the earthquake, and the season before they had the cool bridge. Like, I love that kind of challenge, like those challenges.
Yeah, trying to push the engineering of Lego building. It's like I literally walked in, I saw a mechanical, I'm like I'm like, they're out of their minds. How could we possibly make a build hold on to a mechanical bull for like more than a few seconds? And then I think so many teams surprised themselves with just how well you can get Lego to hold on to things. It was a really fun one.
Yeah, it's awesome. Sorry, it's like that's so eloquent. It's awesome. What was like your favorite moment beside for winning? Like, obviously winning has to be your favorite moment, but like, what was like your favorite moment of your experience on Lego Master beside for that?
I think one of my most favorite moments, even though it was a hard moment and a bit of a sad moment, was in our mini golf challenge. We weren't sure if our build was going to work, and we were really nervous, but we had everyone in the room rooting for us. Like, everyone was cheering us on. And when it worked, that's all we wanted in that moment. We just wanted our build to work, and it worked perfectly. Will had fun playing it, and everyone lost their minds in the room. People were so excited for us. And I don't know if it's just because of their energy and our energy that it just magically
It literally feels like because they wanted it to so badly, like they willed it into existence.
Yes, exactly.
Like literally made it happen. So again, it just goes back to the Lego family and how tight we are and how we all want to see each other succeed. We don't want to see anybody go home.
No.
So that was definitely a huge standout moment.
Yeah, it just reminds us why we're here in the first place and what Lego is all about. And those friendships that we formed are going to last a lifetime. And that moment meant everything.
That's great. Do you guys have plans to visit your build in Legoland, New York? I want to go really badly.
I want to go to Legoland, New York.
And like, I'd love to take my parents to see it, Stacey's parents and another family. Like, it'd be so awesome to let them kind of take in all the little things with our build that you don't get to see in, the quick couple seconds they show each build on the show. So yeah, it'll be so cool.
And I've never been to Legoland, so
I'm dying to go. I've been wanting to go for so long.
But like, I've gotten the full experience, so I'm excited.
Like, I've been wanting to go ever since it opened. I've been watching YouTube videos of it. I'm like, I want to do it all. I love it. I know I'm a giant human being, but I want to ride all the kid rides and the adult rides and everything.
Do you want to come with us when we go?
I want to hang out with you guys. Like, I'm a big nostalgia nerd.
You're in.
Literally, like your race car was so cool. Like, remind me of being a child watching Saved by the Bell.
I love that. That's exactly the vibe we were going for. So
100%.
that means so much.
I want to get like one of your Lego ties. Like I will pay you for that.
Yeah, there are places you can find it.
Like, what do you guys like see yourself for the future for you guys? Like building Legos or like maybe other things for the company or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We do have something really exciting actually coming up this weekend.
This is really exciting for us.
We're going to be partaking in this amazing event called Build Against Cancer. So we're actually going to be going down to Memphis, where St. Jude Children's Cancer Research Hospital is located. And we're going to be partaking in this amazing 24-hour stream that's put on by this wonderful content creator named Dr. Lupo. And his goal is just to raise as much money as possible for children's cancer research. So we're going to actually be there doing another 24-hour build. So it's going to be really, really fun. We're going to be doing some silly, wacky things, all in the name of raising as much money as possible. So it's going to be an incredible time. And we're just so honored to be part of the event.
And we get to build together again.
Yeah, we get to build together again. So it's an amazing excuse to do that.
And you guys have to be up like the whole 24 hours. I imagine it was like cut in half at least or something, right? Or were you guys up for 24
this is going to be more of a straight through.
This is going to be more of a straight
Lots of coffee.
You might get a little break in there, hopefully. So
hopefully all of our training on Lego Masters has led up to this moment. So we can get some building done a little quicker, maybe relax a little more. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really hope to bump into you guys when I go to Legoland because it's not far from me. And I will definitely want, I would, what?
Yeah, I would love
to go. I'll get my girlfriend in town and we will all go and like geek out about Lego.
Sounds like an amazing plan.
Let's do that. Let's make that happen.
Oh my God. This has been like such a pleasure talking to y'all. I'm cheering you guys on all season. It's so cool seeing people like me out there that are hardcore Lego nerds in our 30s and just like being happy with everything about seeing like Lego be beautiful. And like, it makes me so happy. I can't wait to follow y'all both on Twitch.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for this.
And just thank you for having us. This has been such a fun chat.
Yeah.
We can genuinely feel your like love and energy for all things Lego and nerdy. So.
And you got me excited for Legoland.
Definitely.
Well, I will gladly ride the dragon with y'all any day.
Let's do it.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. And have a great day.